Since Diddy's imprisonment, more rappers have been suspected of not being on the DL than there are fingers on one hand. So when people talk about Hollywood rappers these days, I can't help but think of the Rainbow Coalition. Although I'm simply playing, the list of rappers who have performed here is authentic. Who knew that thug life energy was really a facade for them to bask in their romantic glory? Orlando has finished getting down with all of you though, because he was out there name-dropping folks in that clip. We're only now discovering how long, and the ones we always assumed to be the toughest are even more insane in the game. Describe Busta Rhymes. Since Busta always had that hardcore vibe, I honestly never would have imagined that he was involved in any of this. People have been assuming for a minute now, though, that he is involved in this Diddy situation, and has been controlling it by avoiding anything that has to do with Diddy. However, notice that nothing, not even your ancestors, can spare you from that fire when the internet decides it's your turn. And let's not forget about the woman. Let's just say that Busta has apparently been snatching up a whole group of rappers that used to admire him. I believe that comprehension is the absence of misunderstanding, so until the truth is contested, everyone should keep their mouths shut. After that, justice ought to be administered to all parties concerned. It only makes sense to those who aren't connected to the internet to tell everyone to keep their mouths shut. Look what's actually happening, sir. With all the testimony, receipts, and obvious proof circulating online, what do you mean? Please pardon me, but who isn't anyone? Busta's entire manner conveyed the idea that he was attempting to shield Diddy, which is exactly why people started to give him the side eye. When he continued to insist that he had never been to a Dottie party, however, people went crazy because, please keep in mind anything, the internet started pulling out a ton of receipts and first, an entire video from 2010 that included him speaking at a Dottie party with other famous people. Even worse, Diddy was there, referring to him as a friend from his youth. At this point, it's hardly surprising that some are saying that Busta hit his boy Diddy with the mind your business stuff in an effort to shield him from him. The internet, let's be honest, wasn't going to ignore it. They were only getting started. Busta's name was clearly visible on the list of celebrities Orlando Brown was purportedly seen naming in the video that was therefore played. When asked about it again, Orlando stood on it and went even farther, exposing how the industry has been taking advantage of young people for years. Some people shrugged it off, thinking that Orlando was simply on one when he said all that. Now let's go back to Busta Rhymes, where things started to come together. Unbelievably, these online detectives had discovered yet another video, this time from a rapper by the name of Trip Alley. When Busta pulled up on Trip Alley when he was out strolling with his pals, it wasn't a nice hello. Instead, Busta grabbed his hand and wouldn't let go, claiming that he was holding on to him tightly, which made it very uncomfortable. After extending an invitation to a party, Busta said they might meet in a private setting. Why does that sound so familiar to you now? You don't even know Adam, so why would you invite him to a party if you weren't up to something? Busta, you need to slow down. That maneuver was much faster than your spit. After listening to Big Homie CC's narrative, you might want to rethink your first assumption that Trip Alley was joking, because he explained a completely different scenario that seemed remarkably familiar. You might remember the interview in which Big Homie mentioned going to a club with a rapper and a model. They connected with a few folks at the club, and guess what? Don Benjamin says, just lounging there was Busta Rhymes. According to Big Homie, Busta was unable to look away from the gay lawyer who was lingering at the club. Before introducing him to their portion, he claimed to be intently studying him, but it didn't stop there. The true question is what Busta was discussing with him in that brief private conversation in the corner after tearing him apart. When Big Homies, because everyone is too busy enjoying the advantages, Busta responds when asked why no one ever seems to criticize him. VIP areas, backstage access, and music video shoots are all great, but the real kicker, Big Homie, went on to reveal that Busta hates having women around him. According to the narrative he told, this man allegedly poured a drink on a woman who dared to touch him. Tell me now that it's not suspicious. It doesn't matter if Busta is gay or not. What matters is that you're a disaster when you get so mad at women that you're throwing drinks at them. Let's face it, such behavior says a lot. According to the tabloids, Busta Rhymes was seen leaving a gay pride party with a trans woman. Given how the internet has been put up, it is not surprising that it is getting harder to deny these accusations. Individuals from both inside and outside his social circle are expressing similar views collectively, and more people are now joining in, stating things like, "I knew something was up when I saw that video." How do you people feel about all of this? Do you believe these rumors, or is the internet simply conducting its usual business? Busta became enraged and threw a drink at the girl for touching him. Rap is dead to me, and now I have to hide my God in dread whenever I hear it. It's not just rappers. The US government and Hollywood are also involved. The way these receipts keep piling up and giving the impression that something is amiss has put Busta Rhymes on the DL for a long time. I'll see you over there. Let's discuss it.